Hi friends, in this session I am going to show the demo of lifecycle methods, how to manage Hazelcast lifecycle. So I am going to create a new class. I am going to name it as lifecycle, Hazelcast lifecycle. So I am giving @component so that it will be picked by Spring during startup. So now I am going to create beans. I am first creating the Hazelcast configuration bean. Get config. Hazelcast config, adding imports. So I'm doing the default, I'm returning the default config, so I'm returning new config object. So I'm going to create one more instance of Hazelcast instance bean. Public void Hazelcast instance. So it is of type Hazelcast instance. Hazelcast instance. So I am going to use this config bean in my Hazelcast instance. So we need to return the Hazelcast instance. So let me create the instance. Cast instance hrd equal to Hazelcast dot new Hazelcast instance by using config. So I am passing this config object and returning hrd. So this is the way we will get the Hazelcast instance. Now I want to add the listeners lifecycle for the client as well as member and the Hazelcast lifecycle. So that we will be getting in the config object. So config cynf equal to so I'm going to get the config object, Hazelcast config object. So config dot add listener config. It takes a listener config. So new listener config. In the listener config I can able to pass lifecycle listener. So now I am using anonymous class of lifecycle listener. So this is my lifecycle listener. Whenever the state is changed, like when in Hazelcast instance first starting, it will be starting. After that it will be started. When it is going to shut down, it will be shut down. So any lifecycle change, it will be coming to this state change method. So I'm just adding some state SOPs, system.out.println. Printing the event, like what state changed, like lifecycle state. Event dot get type or get state gives me the what is the state of this lifecycle object. I will check else I can print get class and lifecycle method. So currently I'll just print only the state, what is the state changed. And similarly I can add member listener also. So I'm going to add config dot add listener config, new listener config. Inside that I am using this time new member new member listener. This is my membership listener. This is also anonymous class, so I'm adding that unimplemented method. It has 3 methods. One is member added. When we are adding new member, when you are starting new Hazelcast server, it will be coming to member added, and when we are going to shut down, it will be removed from the cluster, so that time it is member removed. Similarly, when any change in the event, ls. So here also I am going to add some SOPs. Member removed. So we already know the type, so no need to print the type. I'll print the member. From the member I'll be able to get the UID. UID is the unique ID. Each time when you are creating another Hazelcast, we'll be able to see in the Hazelcast instance. Similarly, I'm adding for added also. This is attribute change. Similarly, I'll add for client lifecycle also. Anytime when you are adding any new client, is when you are starting as Hazelcast client, we are able to manage that lifecycle using this. So I'm going to add one more listener to the config object. Add listener, new listener config. So in this time it is client lifecycle, client listener. So here also when client is added and client is removed. I'm going to add system.out.println client disconnected. Client get UID, this is the unique ID, and similarly we can able to get the name also. Client.get name. Similarly for add, I'll add this. So I'm going to start my Hazelcast server. This is Hazelcast member. Run as Java application. See, my member is added. This is my unique ID. This is the UID. So next to member IP address and the port, we are able to see that unique ID. This is UID of this member added. And first time the lifecycle method is starting. After that it will be changed to started. So if I create one more member, similarly member added will be getting, and that state starting and started will be coming. So let me add one more member. See now two members are added and one more member is added. We are able to see this member added, and that lifecycle change methods also was coming. So if I stop one of this member, I'll be able to get that member. So we are able to see member removed and the UID of that member. So now I'm going to add one client to see. We are able to see that client is added. And as Java application. See, this is my client application. This is my the existing Hazelcast UID, member UID. Let me go to my Hazelcast member and see. See, we are able to get the client added, and this is the client UID, and this is the client name. If I add one more client, again I will be getting client added, that UID and that name. So why we need this lifecycle methods is like in example in a production we will be mostly will be using one member and more clients. All the applications which are running will be starting in client. So in my client example, I have a online booking. So online booking has multiple stages. User has to go and book the deal or something. After user is booked, it has to be go to warehouse, and from warehouse it need to be do some processing, and then it should be shipped to the person. So each one is independent system, and each need to be done completely. Example, we are running the application in 4 nodes or 8 nodes. Load balancing, each request will be sent to one of the machine. One of the node which is processing the order went down, so we will lose that information, what state that transaction is happened, whether it is completed fully or not, we will not be able to know. That type of situation, I can use this Hazelcast lifecycle method, and I should be able to control when the client is going disconnected. I should be able to track those details, and I should give it to the node which are up and running. I'll show sample demo like how we can use this. This is my client. So I similar like this map, I can use IMAP. This is my order map. I'll name it as order map. This order map dot put. While putting, I'll use the unique ID, like which is unique is the client UID is unique. So I'm going to add that UID. Here my order ID is unique. So what I'll do, I'll make one more map with string and string. I may name it as order details. So it's a new hash map. So what I'll do, when I'm getting some request from the server, before processing, I'll store it in my map. This is my Hazelcast map, order map. So I'll be storing the details like order ID, that is a string. So order ID, unique number, so I'm giving just some 43, and initial, this is a initial state, so maybe I should put started. And I'll place this order detail in my map. So this map will be there in all my Hazelcast clients and member. I'll put it as map and here string. It is capital. And one more is when we are processing, I can change this, I can take this value and I can update this map to in process. I will put one more element. That time first I need to get from this UID. When you are updating, first you have to get the map details. This is updated map, right? We are going to update, so update map, order map dot get UID, get UID, get with UID is unique value. So from the Hazelcast instance, every time we are able to get that unique ID. So now I will be having what are the details there in my map. If I want to update the existing value to in process, I can update that. Or if I want to add one more new element also, I can add. So this time I will add one more map, one more value to that map. Key is something else, and it was in process. In pro. And I have to save it in the map again. Something like this. So I have two elements, one is in started, one is in process. So now I'm going to start this client, one more client. So my client is started. If I go to my server, Hazelcast member, I should be able to see this. When this client is added, we are getting this in details. So if I shut down also, if I stop this client also, sorry, I think I have stopped the server. Let me start again. Even in server side, we have to change something. Like if I want to handle that, like when the client is getting connected, example that whatever when the node is going down, what I'll do, I'll just take the details from the client. So we should know the map name. So let me get the map. So server side also I have to add that implementation. So when client is connected, example, when client is shut down, I have taken those feed IDs and sent to another up client, or I can store in the database. When next time client comes up, I can give it to that. So what I'll do, I should get that map right. To get the Hazelcast instance, let's see. We can use Hazelcast get the Hazelcast instance by name. So instance name we will be by default it will be underscore Hazelcast underscore dev, because we are using default implementation. We can print that also. From that we are able to get this order map, and we'll be having client UID. From UID I should be able to get what is the status of my objects, which are order details. Order map get UID with get. In the get I have to pass client UID. .toString. So I'll save this, and just for instance name I'll print it here to confirm. Name get name. So now I'm going to start my Hazelcast server. It is Hazelcast instance 1 underscore dev. If it is, so it should be. So let me restart one more time. So my server is started. Now I'll start one client. So in server we should be able to see client is added, and this is the client UID. So let me bring down the client. See, when the client went down, I was having the details. What are the status of my orders which I am processing. So one is started, one is in process. With these details, if I want to process, give it to the other available nodes, I can give it, or else I can store in DB. Next time when the node comes up, I should be able to process those bits. So this way I should be able to make sure even when the nodes are going down, I'm not stopping the jobs which are in between, which are processed or which are about to start. So we are able to make sure it is 100% guaranteed the things are delivered. Thank you friends. Please subscribe to my channel for new updates.